one of the interesting things at this tournament has been the amount of stoppage time. Have you guys noticed that? How much stoppage time there is?
Couldn't not notice it.
There's been a few injuries and a few VAR stoppages, but it's gone for sometimes. I think I've seen 9 minutes, and even I've seen a 6-minute half time or something like that. What do you guys make of that? It's what value for money for the fan, extracting every second left of the referee's watch.
I was the poor sap who sat through the referee's press conference before the tournament started, and amongst the usual, we're going to tackle foul play and all that kind of stuff, was this very determined thing of ball in play more. They got targets, 68 minutes or...
Just make the games longer for that to happen.
Well, but see, my view is if you're going to do that, you should really have a centralised timekeeper who literally stops the clock, because the frustrating thing for me is they're playing 10, 12, 13 minutes of injury time, but teams play differently in injury time. If it's 81 minutes or whatever, you play differently. So when the ticks around, it's like suddenly everyone's hanging on desperately. So if you're really going to play that much injury time, I would say just have a centralised timekeeper like they do in American sports who just stops the clock, public clock, and you can see it. So the game actually does finish bang on 90 minutes.
It's a big change though, that's a really big change. But I don't mind it because, you don't want teams taking advantage of time wasting, things like that. But with VAR...
Except it's not time. So the big thing FIFA said was it's not time wasting that wastes the majority of time. It's actually just the ball being out of play during the regular game. And the refs don't normally add on...
They're just guessing. They don't normally just...
They just kind of go, well, it's if there's a player down injured or a player's time wasting or there's something or a VAR check or a substitution, that's what they add the time on for. Hence you get you 2, 3, 4 minutes. But this thing is whenever the ball's out of play, stop.
Yeah, but what about with VAR? The risk there is, and I know you shouldn't be losing time for VAR, but if VAR does take time, we could end up with a 10, 12-minute stoppage time.
Well, there have been. There have been games that have gone over 100 minutes.
England, because of that awful injury.
Well, that was an awful injury. That injury, that was literally a 10-minute stop.
Compounded by the addition of all the other time for VAR checks and for all the other stuff.
I don't mind it.
Don't be in a rush.
It does change the dynamics in terms of players' fitness, and usually you see if they want a player to make an impact, he generally comes on around that sort of 60, 65-minute mark. Will coaches bring players on later, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
A lot of different factors that coaches will be weighing up. I haven't really heard too much about it yet from coaches. Graham Arnold certainly hasn't addressed it yet. But
I think he was glad to hear the final whistle, to be honest.
I think he was.